Hello, everyone. I'm back. It has been so long since I've been here with you all. So much has happened, and I'm going to share that all with you, but I'm going to start with my usual spiel. Welcome to episode 44 of the EarthtonesGirl Podcast. My name is Denise. I am coming to you today from my home in Yonkers, New York, where I live with my husband and 2 children. You can find me on the internet as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I am also on Ravelry. The podcast has a Ravelry group, the EarthtonesGirl Podcast group, and there is also an email address, earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. My last episode was May 4th. Wow. And I had such plans, and as I've said on this podcast before, man plans and God laughs, and not to go down a weird road, but the plans went right out the window. I'm not saying he's laughing, but the plans went right out the window. Yeah, I feel like from the start of the quarantine and all of this COVID stuff, the kids and I had found our footing and we were doing really well. And then I honestly feel like the ground was ripped out from under me. And I disappeared for a little while from social media. I took a little bit of time off, not a lot, but a little bit of time off just to try to collect my thoughts, collect my everything. And just when I was maybe starting to breathe a little bit, the rug was yanked out again. So let's go back. Not to go into too much detail, but on May 16th, so my plan had been at the beginning of May was to come on every week and chat with you all and give you updates on things and just, be here a little bit more. And I really, really wanted to do that. And I was so looking forward to it. And then on May 16th, I got a phone call. It was a Saturday morning. It was about 8:30 in the morning. And I'm going to call her a member of my family because that's what she was to me. A member of my family died suddenly, and she'd been in my life for 33 years. I've known her since I was 17, and she was suddenly gone. It had nothing to do with the virus. It had nothing to do with anything really. It was just one of these horrible incidents where she woke up and boom, that was it. She was gone. So I really forgot how to breathe. I forgot how to eat. I forgot how to take a shower. I forgot how to do everything. So there was a lot of adjustment to that. And I don't think I'm ever going to adjust. I'm never going to get over it. I'm just going to say it right now. I will never get over it. It's something I'll learn to live with. Almost like having a new roommate that you don't really want, but they won't leave. So I will get used to her not being here, but I will never recover. So, I just didn't feel like recording. There was nothing to say. I had nothing to share. I had nothing to say. I was empty. And I was knitting though. Thank heaven for knitting. I know many people in a time of crisis turn to their thing that they need for their comfort. Many people who do knit, excuse me, sometimes they knit ferociously, which is what happened to me, and many people just can't knit at all. It just stops. They can't. Their mojo, their enthusiasm, whatever you want to call it, just disappears. And in my case, it was all I could do to literally keep myself together. So, yeah, even started a project that day, and sort of dedicated it to her. I'm not going to share that right now, maybe down the line, but just having that in my hands grounded me a little bit, because I really felt like I was doing this. So anyway, so that happened. And then 9 days later, the world was shocked and really turned upside down with a horrific incident that happened. It was filmed, it was broadcast everywhere, and I don't have to name the incident. I know everybody watching this is well aware, and it started a huge shift in the world. It started a huge shift in the way people think. I believe that shift was a little long overdue. But yeah, sometimes it takes a really huge event for people to wake up and for people to stand back and go, oh my gosh, has this really been going on? And to some, it may be like, well, hello, it's been going on. And to others, it's, wow, I can't believe this is going on. So that was really shocking. It was really hurtful and lots of things. So again, I was just it was 9 days, but at least I was sitting up at that point, and then I just kind of went right back down again. So, yeah, there's just been a lot. And then on top of all of that that's been happening, there was also, I'm still home. There's still a pandemic going on top of all of that. So it was trying to figure out how to grieve and say goodbye, how to participate in this world change, and how to deal with this pandemic, life-changing pandemic that's going on. And I've just been on overload. I really have been. Somehow I did manage to rally a bit and pull myself together, and I did do a tutorial. Actually, I published 2 tutorials, I think, since my last episode. Knitting socks 2 at a time, which I know many of you had been waiting for, and I thank you again for your patience. And then I did another one on using self-striping yarn, and the response to that was really amazing. So thank you for that too. And I'll talk about why all of that was happening. But I just didn't feel to sit here and chat. But I do feel that now, and I have missed being here. I've missed being in front of the camera. I've missed sharing. I've missed talking, and yeah, it's just the plate has been. I mean, I'm talking an average size dinner plate that's just been heaped. Stuff is falling off the plate. There is no more room on the plate, and it's just been a lot. It's been a lot, you guys. But all of that said, my family and I are doing well as can be expected. My son... Oh, and then the other fun part was trying to explain to my children why they weren't going back to school, because up to that point, there was still a hope. At the beginning of May, there was still a hope that they may have returned to school, and explaining to them that that wasn't going to happen. My daughter understood, but she was very unhappy. My son he's 5 and couldn't get his head around it. And it was a lot of crying, and it was a lot of melting down, and you're not my teacher, and why are you teaching me, and when am I going to see my friends? It was a lot. So enough whining. I'm just saying all of that to kind of give you a little background on where I've been and what's been happening in my world. I am not sitting on the pity pot. I'm not expecting any messages of, oh my gosh, Denise, I feel so bad. You don't have to do that. It's just, I try very hard to handle things as graciously as I can, and this has really put me to the test. All of this has really, really put me to the test, but I will not let it take over. I will not let it drive my bus. I am driving my bus, and I won't let it get the better of me. So we found ways to deal, and my son was actually able to have his kindergarten graduation, which was so lovely. And I'll put some pictures in here for you of that. And it was just so nice to, see him with his class, and he got all dressed up and he was so excited, and he got to see his teacher and to see the school. We were outside. It was all done outside in the parking lot in front of the school, but it was so nice for him to have that. And I know it's only kindergarten graduation. There have been high school graduations that were missed and college graduations that were missed. There's been so much that people have had to let go of. And again, this is only kindergarten, but in our world, it felt like a college graduation. It really did. It's all everybody's experiences are relative. So to us, this was really huge. And first they were going to do it, then they weren't, and then they did it, and then they weren't, and then they were. But anyway, it ended up happening, and we were all really happy. And we decided on that day, that was June 19th, and we decided, okay, that's it. We need to bring members of our family back into play. Like, I can't handle this distance anymore. So with things sort of improving a little bit, we had family over, my side of the family over for the first time, and we still social distanced in our backyard, but our yard is pretty big, so it was just nice to be near everyone. We were able to pull our masks down and talk to each other, and it was lovely, and it felt healing, which I know I personally needed. So that's what's been happening, guys. And now it's summer. It is July 2nd. How did we get here? I don't understand how we got. Actually, my last episode was May 4th, and it is July 2nd, so almost 2 months to the day. And it's incredible how fast time has been flying. As you can see, I have not gotten my hair done. I'm gray, y'all. But my hair's growing. You know what? It is what it is. I'm kind of getting used to it. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of gray in there, but I'm getting used to it. I kind of like it. I almost feel like it's a new me. I feel very set free in a strange way by everything that's happening. I don't mince words anymore. I don't censor myself anymore. I feel like life is just too darn short, and I don't have time. So I'm going to take better care of me and say what I'm thinking and say what I'm feeling in the way that I do best. And it makes me feel like more me, and more open to sharing certain things. So, yeah, I'm just so happy to share even that with you all. So, all of that said, a little bit of EarthtonesGirl news. There have been the Scrappy Shorties Cal is over. Wow, that ended on May 31st. And prizes were awarded. It took me a little while. I didn't award or announce prize winners until the middle of June, but no one really minded. But I kind of feel like a lot of my YouTube subscribers that are not on Instagram or social media miss out on a lot of the goings on. So, because I do tend to post, I post on Instagram all the time. So, I'm really sorry, and I hope that you guys don't feel excluded. But there is now, for those of you who may not be aware, there is now a way to do posts here on YouTube, just to keep people up to date. It's called Community, and it literally looks like like an Instagram post or a social media post, where I can just say, pop in, we're like, hey guys, here's what I'm working on. Hoping to get another episode up soon, or hey, have you seen this? Have you seen that? This is a new pattern. So I'm going to try going forward to use that between episodes, to keep you all in the loop and let you know what's going on. I really don't I feel like you all have been really excluded, a lot of people here. So I'm going to try to keep you more in the loop and find ways to communicate with you between episodes. So yeah, Scrappy Shorties Cal was over, and thank you to everybody that did participate. It really was fun. So many people learned a lot. It was really fun, and your socks were all so beautiful. And something else that happened in the interim was I don't even know if I mentioned this in my last episode. I was co-hosting. I was the visiting professor for School of Stash, which was hosted by Stacy of Mustache Yarn. It was just a month-long cal, and I was basically just the professor in residence, to use another expression or another phrase. And everybody, it was a knit-along, a sock knit-along using Mustache Yarn. That's really what it was. It was started on June 1st. It ended on June 30th, just a 1 month. And the stripy sock yarn tutorial, the stripy tutorial, which is the last thing I posted on my channel, that tied into that cal. So, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Working with Stacy was really, really lovely. She's amazing. Stacy, thank you so much for having me along for School of Stash this year. It was wonderful. Yeah, the winner for that has not been chosen yet. Stacy will be doing that. Again, we're only 2 days into July. I know she's really busy getting some stuff ready, and new colorways, just FYI. New colorways are happening for her summer concert series, so she's not asking me to promote this. I'm just telling you. So I know she will be picking a winner for that very, very soon. So stay tuned for, not even stay tuned, but stay tuned for her new colorways. And for anybody that did participate in School of Stash that's watching this, she will be announcing the winners very soon. So in terms of cals, guys, that's cal news, knit along news. My No Fear sock knitting class is still doing really well. So many people are still watching. Thank you so much for that. There will be more episodes coming. I'm not going to say when. I know everybody is waiting on part 2 for the 2 at a time tutorial. I'm not going to hold myself to anything, because guess what? Next thing you know, the zombies are going to rise, or Godzilla is going to come out of the ocean. I mean, at this point in 2020, you have no idea what's coming next. So I am not making any promises, but I will do my best to get a part 2 to that tutorial up very soon. My husband's actually home for the 4th of July is on Saturday, so he's home for the next few days. So maybe, since I'll have somebody watching the kids, they are actually out right now. Do you hear that? Quiet. Oh my God. This is the first time I have been home alone since the beginning of March. I honestly had a moment where I thought, all right, do I record, or do I just sit and knit quietly, or do I run around the house? I didn't know what to do. It's like you're given this precious time and you stand there not knowing what to do with it, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Poof. So I really did want to come and catch up with you guys. So so back to No Fear sock knitting. People are still using the hashtag on Instagram. They're still chatting in the Ravelry group. They're still posting finished socks in the Ravelry group. So my plan, again, there I go with plans again, but my plan is to just have that be ongoing. People are still posting questions. So the No Fear sock knitting unofficial cal will just continue. So thank you again for watching the tutorials. Keep watching. There will be more. You have no idea how much I appreciate everybody's enthusiasm for that still. It's just been incredible. And another little bit of news. I'm rambling. This is 18 minutes so far of me just talking. I do have some stuff to show you in a minute, but there's just so much to catch up on. Another good thing actually that's happening is I'm going to be teaching. Vogue Knitting Live has decided to do a series of virtual classes. So I'm actually going to be teaching the No Fear sock knitting class again this month in July. The classes are going to be July 16th, 17th, and then there's going to be a sock tips and tricks class on the 19th. So I do believe I don't know if there's any space left. I think the classes may be sold out, but so you're probably wondering why I'm even mentioning it, because then you can't get in. However, I do think they're going to be doing it again. So hopefully if things continue to go smoothly and if this does happen, I will let you know. I literally had about a day's notice before all of this went public. They sent me an email. They asked me to do it. I said, okay. And boom, 2 days later, it was announced. And 2 days after that, I think, or not even, the class was published. All the classes were published, and so many have sold out already. So again, I know they did one in May. I think they did one in June, or maybe April and June, but they're going to be doing more. So just stay tuned. And again, because of this community platform, I will be able to keep you up to date when future dates come up. But I am really excited about it and did want to share that with you. I've never taught a class virtually, so it's going to be a real interesting experience. And again, it may be something that I can do going forward, maybe even on my own. So we'll see. Let me know what you think about that. So what have I been making? I did start the pair of socks that I mentioned earlier, but I'm going to save those. But I did finish 2 other pairs, so I'll show you those quickly. These were my Scrappy socks for the Scrappy Shorties Cal. Here they are. Here they are, guys. Really simple. It is my No Fear Shorty sock pattern that I followed. I substituted the Fish Lips Kiss heel, because you all know that's my favorite heel. So I put that in, and this sock set, so here you go. Wait, let me hold them up here so you can see a little better. So here they are. Let's pull back so you can see. I love them. But I'm not going to lie. This took a lot of concentration because I like my stripes to match. So purposely knitting them not to match, it's amazing how much effort this took and how long they took. It was so silly, but I'm like, all right, every time I tried to, like even here, that I think these may be 2 or 3 row difference, but I was like, all right, don't knit them the same number of rows. Don't knit them the same number of rows. It took so much concentration, but it was also a good distraction, which I really needed. So these are my Scrappy Shorties for my Cal. And this yarn is by Woolberry Company. I'll put the information down here for you. And this is an old mini set that they had called Secret Admirer. I don't know if they have it anymore, but I'll put a link to their shop down below. You may be able to, Bethany is the dyer behind Woolberry, so maybe she can dye up some more of these, or maybe they are available. I'm honestly not sure, but I'll put all the information in the description box down below for you. So there they are. I really love them. I do. And see, I couldn't even help myself. The toes even ended up the same. I can't. I'm a little OCD when it comes to my stripes. So, but anyway, they're done. So now that takes me to my second completed pair. I have been knitting a little bit in there, but I've also been sewing, which has been really nice. And I'll show you that in a minute. But this was my pair for the School of Stash. Here they are, guys. This was another pair that I just finished. This is also my pattern, but I just made the leg a little bit longer. I think I added maybe another 10 to 15 rows on the leg. So the cuff was 15, then I think I did the leg 30, so probably about another 15 rounds. I did the heel flap and gusset, and huge thank you to the 3 viewers who watched my 2 at a time tutorial. And in that tutorial, I mentioned that I had never seen a video for knitting heel flap and gusset 2 at a time. Well, guess what? You guys found the tutorials for me and sent them to me, and I decided to give it a try. So these were knit, these socks 2 at a time, heel flap and gusset, were knit at the same time, and I did these gussets these heel flaps at the same time. I keep saying it because it still blows me away that it can be done. Was it easy? Yes and no. The tutorials were all done with magic loop, and I knit my go-to for my socks is 2 at a time. So I had to convert a few of the instructions, or modify, that's a better word. I had to modify a few of the instructions, and then I did a contrasting heel. And in the tutorials, it was all solid yarn. There was no changing of color. So there were 2 big modifications going on, but I figured it out. My brain was hurting a little bit. It was pulsing as I was doing it, but I did figure it out. And yes, I would like to teach it and record a tutorial for it. I don't know when that will happen. I want to practice it a little bit more first, because it really and truly was involved. It would be a long tutorial. Yeah, but I really would like to try it again. So this is Mustache yarn. These were my socks for School of Stash. Mustache yarn, this is the I Am Fearless colorway. And I just threw in a white heels because it looks like a little cloud floating in the sky. I love these. They're really nice. These cheered me up so much. They're so bright and colorful. I really needed cheering up. So they fit the bill perfectly. I mean, these rainbows with these big swatches, these big sections of blue sky. I mean, how could you not look at these and smile? I had so much fun knitting these. And I believe that this colorway is still available in Mustache Yarns, in the shop for Mustache Yarns. So you can go and check that out. Link will be in the description box down below. And I used my usual go-to Malabrigo sock yarn in the natural colorway for the heels. So there you go. Another pair of socks. I've also been knitting on a cowl, which I didn't bring over, but I'll share that for next time because I'm loving the cowl, but I may change the yarn. Anyway, I'll talk about that next time. And I have been sewing a little bit. I made some more baskets. So that was really nice. The same basket that I showed in my last episode, the fabric basket in the Knit Happens fabric. It's sitting right over there. I'm kind of looking at it as I'm talking to you. I made 2 more for Cal prizes. And I have an extra one sitting over there. But I did sew a little, I did have this little quilting project here. And look at that. They're just 2.5-inch squares that I sewed together. Here's the back. I sewed this together. This was literally about an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't even think it was 2 hours. This is about an hour. And they are pre-cut. It's a mini charm pack. So again, 2.5-inch squares, 1/4-inch seam allowance, and I just sewed them together. So it's just how you sew them together. So you sew 2 together and then add them to this strip of 4, then add it to the strip of 5, then 4, and then 2. And when you turn it on an angle like this, that's how it looks. And the original pattern for this is done with full charm squares, which are 5 inches square. And the original pattern was for a table runner, like maybe for your dining room table or for a sideboard or something like that. But I am actually going to make this into a little mug rug. I used to sew or quilt mug rugs all the time. So I loved doing it. And again, knitting sort of took over, and a lot of my quilting and sewing took a bit of a back seat. So I've missed it and I need a little change. So I pulled this out. I love all the yellows. It just made me so happy. So I'm going to be hand quilting this just to play with my hand quilting a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I will show it to you when it's done. But there it is, my little mug rug. And a mug rug, for those of you that may not know what it is, it's small. Let me see if I can remember. I have little mug rug tags that I usually add when I gift these. It's smaller than a placemat, but bigger than a coaster. Perfect for a little cup of tea with a snack of maybe cookies or a brownie. And it's just the perfect size for a quick little snack with your mug rug, with your mug of tea or coffee. So yeah, this just really also makes me so happy. That's what's been happening in my world, you guys. I just wanted this episode to be really short. I wanted to come in and check up with you all. That's been the last 2 months, you all, in approximately 30 minutes. I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of things, but I'm not going to share them all here and bore you all with them. But hopefully, like I said, you never know. 2020 has been kicking people's butts left and right. So, and it's just been such a difficult year. I feel like my last episode's title was Figuring It Out. And I felt like I was figuring it out. And I think this episode is appropriately named Sidetracked, because I have been so sidetracked. And yeah, so sad and felt so helpless, but I am rallying. I have found my smile, and like I said, I can't let this take over. I can't let this get the better of me, and I just want to be here with you all to share things. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the summer goes, everybody. I hope that your summer has been going well. I hope that you are all well, and dealing with stuff. I hope this episode may give you a little respite from it, if that is what you need. And I'm just happy to be back here with you all for a bit. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really hoping. I feel like I'm crossing all fingers here. Every time I say that, something happens and then it doesn't happen. But you know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind and say it again. I am really hoping to be here a little bit more often. Good things are on the horizon, and I want to share them with you. So hope you again are all doing, I hope you're all well. I'm a little rusty, so I'm stuttering a little bit and umming a little more than usual, but I hope you don't mind and you're bearing with me. And I will see you all again really soon. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today and for sticking with me. And I should have said this in the beginning, but to all of the subscribers, returning viewers, thank you for coming back. Thank you for sticking with me. And there've been so many new subscribers. So welcome. I am so glad that you are all here. And you've joined my little earthy corner of the internet. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you all again soon. Bye. Thank you.